All right, call the meeting to order. Note for the minutes that we do have a quorum. We have Troy Roth and Daryl Cypress is present, and member Bob Babbs is absent. So we do have a quorum. Now, as far as we've got the screen pulled up there, Brian, I'll turn it over to you if you've got any updates that you want to provide under new business.
I can go down the list of just ones we've noted.
Yeah, when we went on that call of drive along, when we went through the east side of the city and noted some of those. I know you were going to follow up on those if you want. How's that going?
Good. I'll just run down. There's only 10. I'll run down real quick. Let's see. The 383 West Wardell Street. They've cleaned up some. Still has tires and brush pile and some broken down items. Let's see. 668 West Cherry Street. I've been asked about it a couple of times on that. I spoke with the landlord there. There is a dumpster there now at the property, and they are working on that as we speak. 390 Bond Street. The overgrown shrubs in the front that was over the was hanging over the sidewalk. People having to walk out on the road just to go down the sidewalk because of the shrub. The landlord had taken those down, and they had set the fence back up also, and it fell down. 239 West Green Street. That one is one that's going to require quite a bit of cleaning up. I can show you kind of what's going on with that one. This is up against Beechwood Park. This is the backyard.
Oh, wow.
That's the side yard.
Somebody living there?
Yeah. The back of the property butts up to Beechwood Park. Nope, this is, you can see. This is what's in the. That's going to require. I did notice they had a trailer there the other day, and they hauled off a little bit of stuff, but as you can tell, it's going to be quite a substantial cleanup. There's that back of that car there, as you can see.
So is that mostly, looks like debris and garbage and things? Any structural issues on the house?
No, I don't think anything on the house. It's just this out in the yard.
Getting that cleaned up. Okay.
They tried to put a fence. You can see the park right there. They tried to put a fence to kind of cover it up, but then the fence fell down. Obviously.
Yeah. Oh, well.
So there's that. So that's that one. I've got it noted here. And then we had noted 608 South Hazard Street. That was the one. That's the Bedford Stone. I think the city had it before. I think we had sold it to somebody. Is that correct?
We did not have it.
Okay.
No. That was one that has previously received efforts by the city, but they had, they sold it. The individual sold it.
Mike Sebastian owns it today.
I had sent out a letter. I had to try and make contact with him. I haven't heard anything. He doesn't have any water or electric hookup to it, so there's no kind of like the utility office thing.
Okay, so
Sometimes
what's,
you can get a phone number real quick. So I didn't have that option, so I sent out a letter. I haven't heard anything.
what's the issue with that one?
That was the one we were just following because it's still boarded up and
Okay,
brick is
there's
falling off of
status
it.
on it. Yeah, I'm with you
Yeah.
now.
288 West Green Street. I spoke with the owner on that one. We got that one cleaned up. It wasn't. They went
Good.
there and took care of that. Bob Evans took care of that for us real quick. Took care of that.
That's his?
Yeah, Green Street. 63 East Walnut. The gutters are fixed, and the front door they painted because the gutters were falling off. They went ahead and straightened that back up for us. That one.
That's good.
Let's see. 91 East Walnut on the corner, they cleaned up behind the garage. The renter did, and then they did board up. There was a couple broken windows on the garage. They went ahead and boarded those up, and got it winterized ready.
Okay.
They cleaned that up. 688 South First Street. They actually cleaned that one up too. That was, there bunch of tires out by a shed, trash and debris out by I call it a utility shed. They cleaned all that up for us. So, let's see, Jefferson, 120 East Jefferson. They mowed it and they did trim down the shrubs for us on that one. 136 East Larry Lane. That is another one that needs a little more.
Further intervention.
Yes, this has been a problem for a while. They've been notified numerous times. This is Larry Lane.
Okay. That's one of the ones we drove by and just, you're not getting any luck with that one.
No.
Okay.
And then if you see, there's more.
Oh my.
It's nonstop. Talk to them. Every week you come by, it's.
Go back to that one that's got the Christmas and the snow. What's that? That's recent or is that last year?
That was just the other day.
Okay. So they're getting
Yeah.
worse, if anything.
Yeah.
Okay.
He gets rid of a few things and brings a few things back. It's just back and forth, back and forth, back and forth.
Is that a rental?
No, that's not.
Go ahead and escalate that one then,
Yes,
if you want
yes. I got a list of the ones we could.
Perfect.
Escalate here. 901 Main Street. That is the one that looks like it's on the corner that, it's not a house, it's a garage, but it is abandoned. Right here,
901 North Main?
right here. There's a building right here you can hardly see. And that is owned by,
That's South Main then, isn't it?
yes,
That's the one we looked at the other day, covered that.
and that's owned by Kimmick Farms.
Oh,
I sent them a letter, Brittany Kimmick called me, and I have not heard from her husband. So,
any progress on it or? Okay.
no,
you know who that is.
Mhm.
let's see. 914 South First Street, which was right over here. This one. I had sent them a letter that's owned out of Florida. The gutters were falling down and the soffit was falling down. They did clean that up. They got a car tagged. They got rid of the tires out front, so they got that cleaned up.
Good job.
I did have one just because we're here. I had one right here. They are trying to have a camper right back here and live in it. I talked to them and they said that's not going to happen. So gave him the code and stuff. You can't live in a camper. He was having his mom come and stay for 3 or 4 days at a time, live out back in the camper. So just because we were on that one. Let's see. The old, I call it the old mill co-op, whatever you want.
Mhm.
I don't, that is Carnet Peacock. I sent them a letter. I seen somebody was out there. It was received. It was certified. Somebody picked it up. I seen they had a small trailer kind of cleaned up, but still, that's another one where the whole property, I mean, that building's falling down.
Yeah, that's a structural issue.
Yeah,
On that one.
that's a huge building.
Where's that at again?
That's on
South
Main.
Main. Is that other one? That's the one right by the
Parks
railroad.
feed mill.
Is
Or that's what it
utilities
Used to be.
on there?
I did not check utilities.
Check utilities on that one.
Where's it at again?
If you're on South Main, you're going past the
Kind of by the
cell
Hallmark.
barn. So
Yeah.
it's right there and it's got the big grain bins still.
Oh, yeah, there.
Right by-
Yeah.
Who owns that now, Jan? You have any idea?
He just told us who owns that?
Carnet Peacock. That's what it's registered as.
Washington Street, some of that.
And then, 325 West Lake Road, which was the Imperial Marble.
Yeah.
I had sent that out there. I red tagged it and went out there. That is John Edrington's house. Let's see what's that. I spoke with the guy, he told me. They build water beds in the front and they got apartments in the back.
John Edrington owns that?
That's what he told me.
Well, it's showing Imperial,
But the 305 East Radio Tower Road
yeah,
is him.
so, okay.
Yeah, because I spoke with the gentleman. I didn't know they did water beds in there.
I didn't know you could still buy a water bed.
Yeah, that's what I was,
I know
I was
still
stunned
made.
too, when I was like,
That was certainly our era.
Yeah.
yeah, so,
Give them a little plug here for some water beds, I guess.
I did get this mowed, the city here, our street department took care of this.
So that, the little sliver there goes in, right there where your mouse is, is that the church that's back there, or what is that
Yes,
that's back
that's
in
the
there?
church right
Okay.
here. It's not super big. Junior and them just went ahead. It was like an extra 5 minutes. They took
Trimmed it all up.
cleaned
That's great.
I got ahold of him and said, "Okay, can you take care of this?" And he said, "Yeah."
And do you have pictures of that Imperial Marble so they can see what we're talking about there? I think a lot of it was just
Sorry.
rubbish sitting out.
This is the front.
It's on the side,
It's
isn't
on
it?
the side.
It's on the east side.
See, that's one of the renters'
Did-
cars.
Did they get that cleaned up?
Nope.
They still have not gotten that cleaned up.
And that's the red tag I left on the door. I sent that.
Can you check with Carmen on that one and see if there's been any, I'm not for sure that would be
Let's see.
proper for residential living at this point in time.
And that did have federal litigation against them.
It was in bankruptcy court for a
Yeah, it
long time.
was.
Yeah, I can check.
Check with Carmen on that one. I'm wondering what the zoning, if that's actually,
That's the old Imperial Marble building.
because that could be a safety issue.
I know they did have an office upstairs. I haven't been up there.
I've been in there before too. I just wondering if there's been any permits pulled to
Right.
make it appropriate for
Yeah.
residential.
The front, the front, if you go by there, you always see 2 or 3 vehicles parked right here. You kind of go in, there's a front door right here, and there's a loading dock, and it's downstairs. And there's a little office right there. The guy's like, "Come on in." He's like, "We're building water beds." And I'm, okay, I'm just curious how you guys do this. And FedEx was pulling in to pick up stuff. But
Did you call John Edrington on this?
I have not. I sent him a letter first because I've had some other ones where I've called him and he doesn't clean it up.
Okay.
So but that's
Check with Carmen and then circle back. If you wanted to put me on an email to Carmen, we can check on that one.
Do you have, did you already cover the Wardell property that we had all those semi-truck tires in the back?
Yes. I'll show you.
Now, we did get the tires picked up.
Nope, he won't pick them up. I even called Tom. Nope.
No, I'm just saying, my understanding is Chief Harden went over there and he said that after he contacted her at her work, that she had, the next day she had all the tires out. Now, not everything else, there's still a mess there, but the tires are supposed to be gone.
So did we ever come up with how to get rid of tires?
I've got that note, because I think Brian was going to check with Scott County Tire.
Yeah, I spoke with him. He said he will take them. He takes them.
Any cost or,
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, there's a cost to it, but he takes them. They don't have to be all cut up like here.
Yeah.
For us at the city, they gotta be cut up in 4 pieces.
Right.
Most people don't have the tools to cut up. tires.
absolutely. What's the cost?
I wanna say it was like $10 or $15 a tire. to get rid of them.
That much used to be two.
It was 7 just a few years back.
Okay. You confirm that number and then, we can put together, have a little flyer or something for you to, and if there's anywhere else, see if you can find somewhere else that at least give some people some options, because, yeah, I don't want to go, very few people, anyone that can cut up a tire shouldn't have tires laying around,
Right.
because they're, you can,
That was Bill Pruitt's old house, and that's in bad shape.
Yeah, that's the one.
What, did we talk about the property that was on Moon Glow in 31?
that's on the corner there. I've got, an update on that from the attorney handling the bankruptcy litigation. And so the bankruptcy, Jan's here, so we'll get some of this answer, is this is the one where we have the judgment against, what's the gentleman's name?
All
Lewis.
around towing.
All Around Towing. And they have a contract interest in that property, the one on the corner. And so they would be a party that is required to receive notice for the unsafe process. So one of the possibilities was, has our lien attached to that, and could we take enforcement action on our lien? Well, in the bankruptcy, it's my understanding that there is a plan in place, a Chapter 13 plan that is being complied with per council. So meaning the city should be receiving payments on our judgment through the Chapter 13, through the bankruptcy court. So,
We're not.
are we not?
No,
Okay.
no, we've not received. I'll send you that information. when
Okay,
we
yeah,
get our
let's
last
touch base
payment.
on that, because assuming the plan is in place, if there's an issue with the plan and a creditor's not receiving, or a creditor's not receiving payment, then we can notify the court, the trustee, and potentially take some action. But as long as the plan is compliant, we could do our unsafe action, but we wouldn't be able to take any other action on our lien, such as foreclosure or anything like that, while the plan is in compliance.
And we do have structural issues out there. Those metal
Absolutely.
awnings are,
Yes.
we need to have some type of notification to clean that up at least.
Yeah, I spoke with the gentleman who owns it, and he's selling it to the other gentleman on a, what kind of sells that?
Sales
Oh,
contract, but he's still the owner, and that's kind of the same position that I got is, while I'm selling it, so I kind of not my problem type situation, and that's not exactly how that works, so. But, we have our answer, at least as far as proceeding under unsafe is the direction that we need to go for the time being. And then at some point, we might be able to circle back a different direction to push things along.
What about South Highway 31 down by,
The business, the old restaurant.
Yeah.
Yep, that one's in my court.
so
What was that old business called?
Willie D's was the
Willie D's,
restaurant.
Willie
Yeah.
D's.
Oh, best tartar sauce in there.
Yeah, I remember Willie
they,
D's.
they had good gravy and biscuits.
I miss it.
So we're talking about the building beside it,
Yeah,
right?
right
building
beside it.
North of it, yeah.
The one that's falling down.
Right.
Concrete blocks went into Highway 31.
Yeah.
So what's the progress there? Have you been able to make contact with the owner at all?
I've got tile searches back, and I just need to send the notice, and that one is a complete removal tear down process on that one. So they will be entitled to a hearing on that one. So when we get our hearing, as our next regular meeting falls in that week, probably try to move that up would be my guess. We'll get to the end of that.
Will
But
that literally be circuit court
no, that'd be this board.
here?
Do this board.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
I had, I'll let you finish.
No, you're fine. The only other thing because I had it together in the minutes from last time, was the tires. It was also the e-waste that we talked about, Goodwill.
Yeah, I reached out to them, and then I called the state, because the Goodwill up here did not take TVs unless they worked.
Okay.
And I called the state. I spoke with IDM, and they reached me and said they are allowed to do that. Goodwill takes them, but they can refuse them if they don't work.
Okay, fair enough.
So basically, so you contacted IDEM, so I need to,
Yes, I spoke with them, yeah, they called me. The only place around here that takes TVs now is, what's that, Double or Nothing?
Yeah,
That's it.
the county.
That are like broken down TV, you know, people, they're junk, like flat screen is junk. It's the county out there.
let's do, and there's not a cost to the Goodwill, and there's not a cost out there at Double or Nothing for that.
The TV at Double or Nothing, I'm sure there's a cost. I
You
don't
know,
know.
everything by weight now.
Everything by
Right.
weight. But the Goodwill, if it's not operating like a good TV, they won't take a bad one.
Check out there at Double or Nothing, because I know they have that separate, that building to the right where you do the e-waste. I'm pretty sure there's a sign over that says e-waste. I'm wondering, I would like to, because we could put that in the same flyer with the tires, with,
Yeah, we need to make that known for sure.
Yeah. so we can, because that's, you know, one of the frequent items you see, and it's hard to dispose of for people. I get it.
A lot of times they just set them outside.
Yeah.
So cost on tires.
Did you talk about the home on Meridian? It's kind of back the way it was,
Oh, the,
just north of Meridian and Owen on the west side.
I think it's 482.
It too is a Peacock property.
Okay, so that's the one we've already issued the order on, and they're not in compliance with the order, or they keep coming back non-compliant.
I think it's 482. I know. Yeah, I just went by there yesterday. I don't know if it's the same one. Where they're always cooking out in the front yard. I know what you're talking about.
Send me a message on that one, or add that to the, 'cause that one's already got an order on it, so our enforcement, at that one is a lot, our ability is a lot different.
That ain't it. That's a different one.
Just some updated pictures and follow up with them on that. There's fines that we can issue actually for not following a CEO. So you guys have issued what's called a continuous enforcement order to CEO. And under statute, there's actually a process to fine just based on for not following that order. So I'm not saying we jump right to that, but advising the property owner that that's a direction we can go.
I think this is.
The other note I had in the minutes is the 415 South Main Street update that was in the process of moving, and whether that's,
Oh, Daphne, I went by there yesterday. I don't think she's moved.
I don't think she is
I
either.
seen clothes hanging out on a clothesline.
Yeah.
I don't think she's moved. I had that right here in my notes. Okay.
okay.
So the dog's still there then, you're assuming?
I'm assuming the dogs are still there.
Can you make another stop there?
Yeah, see if you can get us some update there.
Yeah, because I haven't seen her vehicle there, but like you said, I seen the clothes out on the clothesline and on the porch where she always done it anyways. So it's,
Partner stores around.
Brian, if you're going down Meridian, if you go south of Owen Street, there's a small, very small house. And there was a trailer just to the west of that. Do you know what I'm talking about?
going down Meridian Street.
Yeah.
Here's Meridian Street right
I
here.
didn't know if you've ever tagged them or not, but
Here's Meridian. You said south of Owen.
south of Owen,
There's Owen.
no, it's before you get to High. Right before you get to High.
Okay, so we're right here. This is Meridian. This is Owen.
Here's the property.
Oh, yeah, that's Larry's. He owns this one too.
Well, I mean, if you,
Yeah.
there is somewhat of a covering, but it's all packed, it's just all. And then if you come down here, my question is as well, on High Street, there's that old trailer sitting right there. Do we have any, I mean, it's never, not been occupied in years. Is there anything we can do about that?
The trailer, what, there's no,
There's a trailer here on High Street.
oh, you're down here. Here.
I think that's where it's at.
Click on it and then you can go to images.
Yeah.
Where's the railroad track? Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, that's the, are you sure nobody's living in there?
I've never seen anybody.
I think there's somebody living there.
I think
Is there really?
I think there
There's
is.
somebody living there?
Yes, I think there is.
How about that?
Yeah, I think there is.
Call the utility office, they'll tell us.
I had, if we could do this, we went over 239 Green Street and 136 East Larry Lane. I'd like to push those to be whatever our next step
Okay.
is. And
Yeah,
then
get
I
with
had-
me on that.
I'll send you, just so these guys have it, I was gonna send you, so we went over 239 and 136 East Larry Lane. I just wanted to show them these ones here, and I was gonna do the same thing. Can we push these forward? Because these are constant problems. I mean, just, it's constant. There's the, 132 Owen. This is Larry Haven again, right there on the main drag on Owen Street.
Right there before we get to the tracks.
Yeah, let me, so it's a little faster. You know, this is right there before we get to the tracks.
Wow.
So we got possible structural,
Why this thing
Maybe.
is slow.
Gutter coming down.
That's the one
This
right
is,
No.
this is the front porch, right beside the front porch. I mean, I go there all the time. I'm there like once a week. I'm like, Larry, Joanne lives there. I'm first name basis. They clean up a little bit, then they don't clean up. They clean up a little bit, then they don't clean up.
yes.
And
sir.
Larry's, I've talked to Larry 20 times about this. I've sent him letters. He knows. That's the garage.
Can we condemn the house at all?
There's a process that we would have to follow, that we need to follow, and
You
that
see,
could be a potential option down the line.
this is,
It would have to condemn. Generally, I take that to mean so no one can live there. That I don't see from the outside that there's structural issues to that extent.
it's just the trash cleanup is what.
Well, there's the gutters and there's the siding issue. There may be some structural issues. Well, that left corner there, that barn or the
Yeah.
garage there, is that just, no, well, that right there too, of the house. But,
I mean, it's rough.
yep, we can,
That was one I was gonna send to you. Like I said, it's a, always, you're there all the time. So there was that one, and then I had. This is another rental down on Pine Street that I get a lot of complaints, that backs up to our dog park.
Is that the guy that takes care of Tom Patton's property?
Yes, yes.
I've gotten a lot of complaints on that as well.
I can- You know, you can see
Wow.
the junk. The dog park's back there. That's the dog park, runs up to it. The front yard. There's the backyard, what it looks like. It's all growed up. There's more, you know. Junk, everything.
We have a similar issue over by Rick Zollman as well.
We looked at that one after we came in. But this is another one I was gonna send to you, Josh, was this one, like, these are just, it's constant complaints on them. When I was here on this one, you could see the groundhogs running across the backyard. I mean, they were running underneath the buildings. And he had, at one point, he had somebody, there's a shed right here. They had ran power and they was living in the shed. So they could have TV and stuff. And then the last one I will send to you. These are the ones, these 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. These are ones that would be very nice to clean these up. They're kind of scattered around, but it sends a good message and they're big. And then there is, I made it, let me send it to you. This one here, this is Dallas. I mean, it's just, and nothing's changed. I mean,
Oh my, where's that at?
Cope Lane,
Oh, my God.
right before you pull into the church.
Last
Yeah,
house on
yeah,
the left.
I know it now. I walked it.
So I'm saying, if we could, these ones I just show, like, if we can, whatever we gotta do to,
So did you bring to here your dirty dozen or dirty double dozen that we can have them come in here to court?
yeah, I'm gonna send these, like I said, whatever we gotta do to have them come in. Cause all these ones I've talked to, they've been notified, they're not doing nothing. And these aren't just a bag or two of trash, these are,
These are that.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. That's what I'm saying, and nothing's changed. He gets rid of a couple boxes and he brings a few back, he goes for you and he comes back, it's just back and forth, nothing's changed.
Well, I feel the same way about this Moonglow property there as well, because that guy, I mean, he may take something out, but he brings 4 more back in.
Mhm.
Yeah.
It's just filth.
But
Now,
these
all around.
ones here, I was
All
gonna
around
send,
total.
They shut down, didn't
I think so. Is that correct, Josh?
Oh, I don't know. I can't speak to
they?
that.
Yeah, I think they quit.
but these are the ones I was gonna send to you, Josh, if we can have them come in, whatever our next step is, to have them come
Yeah,
in.
we'll follow the process on
Yes,
the
yes.
statutory procedure. It's not court, to be clear. We are the first step. And whether or not they want a hearing on most of the trash one is up to them. And then if they don't choose a hearing, then we can proceed right on to enforcement. So,
Okay. And then we went over Daphne, I believe is still living there. at the
yep,
house.
you're gonna touch base with her and see what's going on.
So what is our next step to go forward to implement that?
Well, if we don't have title searches, we have to order the title search, and then once we have the title searches, it's we have to notice anyone that has a substantial interest in the property, which generally under law means anyone that is the owner, a mortgage holder, or like a land contract buyer, the main 3. And then there's an order issued by Brian. The order has to give a statutory amount of time for progress or effort. That also notices triggers their right for a hearing if they want one. And then if no hearing is sought, comes to this board for amendment, approval, or rejection of Brian's order. And that's what is the CEO, that's the continuous enforcement order.
So basically with all of that, let me have an understanding, or this board have an understanding, that basically at this point, is that legal services that will be doing that? Or is that
Yes.
something the city needs to do?
Well, it's me and Brian together, yes.
Okay, so I mean, you're the one that is, so legal services will basically pull the titles or the deeds on those to see. and then go
You
forward.
got to do a tile search, make sure that there is not a mortgage holder, or if there is, and a contract purchaser, someone with a life estate, et cetera. That is also due notice under statute. And then I would prepare the outline of the order for Brian, and then in coordination and consultation with him as far as what is the appropriate leaf to seek, whether it's cleanup, tear down, what it is, and then that order is issued, and then Brian will facilitate service of that order.
So it sounds like it's gonna be a couple more months before we
No.
can, no.
I'll send you these, what we just went over, these, here, everything I got, and then title searches, whatever Josh has to do, and then whatever step I need to take after that.
So how many do we have right now that we're gonna pull?
1, 2, 3, 4. Well, those 5 I just went over right there, those 5, which were, and that includes the one over by Zolman too, that includes that one. I mean, those are ones, like I said, those are the bigger ones around the city. Those are the bigger ones.
The impact.
Yeah. That me personally, I would believe if you, like the one we just seen on Carla, you come in and clean that one up, the other people down on the end of the street usually get the hint.
Are we there as well, Josh, on the I-30 or US 31 properties, both north and south? Are they gonna be part of this as well?
Absolutely.
Good.
Yeah, I've got the search back on that one.
Okay, good.
So the next question though, and this is one of the things that we've talked about, and then I need to know, do we plan on using city staff, city employees to do these cleanups, or are we going to use a third party?
I think the answer is yes to both. I think that we need to get if we have time to get this, we'll do it.
And on that, that's one of the things we've discussed is before we can do it.
Okay.
So orders issued, this board, compliance is not achieved, right? The next step is, okay, you've not done the work. Here's what it's going to cost us to do it.
Mhm.
If you don't do it, we're doing it, and this is the lien that will be placed on your property, like property taxes. But we have to provide that number ahead of time.
Okay.
So that's where we have to,
Okay.
if we're using third-party entities, we need to have that in place. Who are we using? And them realizing that we will need a number, and it doesn't have to be exact, it's got to be a reasonable estimate. It's like the city, I mean, if we can, that one with all the trash in the front yard, is that a 4-hour job for 3 people, then doing the calculation on approximately what that will cost. But we have to, that is the next step, assuming there is not compliance, is providing notice that this is going to happen and this is going to be a lien on your property if you don't complete it. And I believe statute's within 10 days
Okay.
from that point in time. So that, I just don't want us to get to the point where we've got, 2 or 3 of these, the one on 31 is a great example. That's probably a heavy equipment situation with that block and stuff. Is that something that you need an excavator or company to come in there? Probably will be a lot easier, probably cheaper in the long run to have someone do that. And if so, working on having some of those numbers available.
Yeah, there's a, some of them we can go in, on Elm Street. We got the equipment, we can handle that. But the one on 31, like you said, that's big, heavy equipment.
Yeah.
We need to,
We're gonna have tow trucks and whatnot. like
yeah,
that.
you're gonna have excavator, this and that, whatever. But if it's just, we can go knock it out, pick up the trash. We got the speed loader, do it. We can do that.
Then does the city pay that third party so then we could put the lien on the property?
That's exactly right.
Okay, that was,
Yep.
glad I came today.
Yeah. So then we would be on the hook for that payment, and
Okay.
then there's a certification of unpaid costs, and that's essentially like a sewer lien. Yeah, we've got all those forms, and it's, so the other caveat that I would throw out there, and we ran into this, was the Hazard Street property, is if we have one that has dangerous items on it. I believe that one there was a lot of used needles that were visible. I would strongly discourage city employees and the hiring of a third party, licensed, insured, bonded, that we would be able to rely upon to properly conduct that. So there are some caveats there, obviously, but, and a lot of these, it's a case by case, because some of these might not start off, with a ton of stuff, and then who knows what accumulates by the end of it, or whatever. So I know there is not a hard and fast rule, but those are things that we need to have a plan on.
In case you uncover something that you didn't know was there.
Absolutely. So, and when Austin had the dilapidation, they had the state grant and was removing structures from property. They had a couple, we would seek bids. We had 2 or 3 contractors that were always bidding and interested and willing to do that work. So
Were they local contractors?
they were.
Okay.
So trying to identify a few people that, could be a sources to get bids and get that information from, that then would be willing to do the work. Because it's one thing to provide a bid. I know we all know that. There's some people who provide a bid that has no interest in doing the work, that will actually be willing to do the work. So
Can you give us those that you know of?
I will.
And as well. Again, there will also be a cost on the deed searches. So,
On what, I'm sorry, Mayor?
Title searches have their own cost.
Yeah, we're seeing those.
But those also get,
When we get this done, then
We get
we
lien.
include those with the lien. Right.
If I send you these 5 that I have, and then you do the 2 on 31, that's 7. Would that be fair to say, let's hammer these 7
That'd be my thought.
yeah, well, absolutely.
before we try to do
Eat the elephant
50 or
one bite
60?
at a
Let's-
time.
Well,
let's-
Well, and I want to say, I mean, for the citizens and for you, I mean, the driving around, and you caught some of this discussion resulted in a lot of things self-help. I mean, you've made contact I wasn't involved. You made contact, and it resulted in things getting done. And obviously that's exactly what we want. So,
That's ideal.
Right.
that's great. And, I commend those homeowners, and, everyone has very busy lives and lots of things going on. We understand that. We're not trying to add hardships, but when there is a code violation, we have a responsibility, and we want the homeowner for the property owner to carry their end. But yeah, I commend you as well for the follow-up and getting that done, because we identified quite a few that day, and probably over 20 from looking at my notes.
Yeah.
And, if we're whittling that down to 4 or 5, that's exactly.
Yeah.
Well, that's great.
That's a positive move, sure is.
So these ones here, the ones that I want to see, they're just the usuals. You talk to them every day, and they're not gonna do it. So
I've spoken with Tom, and Tom is right in this. He says, right now, I cannot evict anybody because the Superior Court will not go forward in any type of evictions in November or December.
yeah, I talked to him just yesterday.
Well, and the thing on that is there's as the property owner, that's where the ultimate obligation lies. And with these, it's usually exterior cleanup things that most leases would allow a land or a property owner to take action on a situation like that. I mean, if I own 1 Main Street and I've got a tenant in there, but I'm getting a notice from the city that if I don't do X, Y, and Z, I'm going to have a $2,500 bill, I can go in and clean that property up. There's not, you may have to provide notice to that tenant, hey, I'm coming to clean it up, and you're going to be responsible for whatever that cost is. But there's a process outside of court to get that done. So while I do understand the predicament there are other ways to get compliance.
So we can go ahead and do it. So,
I'm saying that there is no reason for us to not pursue or take any action that is correct under the law due to any type of eviction freeze or anything of that nature. So that's my position.
so basically, yeah, he doesn't have to evict them. He just needs to clean it up.
Exactly.
And it's always the same 2 or 3 landlords. And it's not just
Yeah.
this house, it's 10 other ones. It's like,
So our next meeting is Christmas Eve. I won't be here Christmas Eve.
Nor will I.
So Board of Works moved their meeting to the next week on the 30th, on the Tuesday. Because if you come forward, you move, if you're still the week of Christmas, the 23rd, not a lot's going on that day either. So, looking at the 30th, what's your guys'?
I'm good on the 30th.
You'll be here, and you guys in town. What time you want to do it? Besides that 1:30 Board of Works,
30th is a Tuesday, so.
it's a Tuesday. So if we want to do it noon before Board of Works, if we want to do that morning.
It works better for Josh.
It works
Just
better
make
for me,
one
but
trip.
whatever, if you guys got
I'm
stuff to do that day,
I'm good with that.
just say noon on the 30th.
30th, okay.
All right, I'll get that notice.
Josh, before you adjourn, I do have a question,
Let me,
if you're to that stage.
I don't think you're on the agenda, so.
Who signs the
Is this
checks
in the
here?
public comment
This is
section?
public comments. I just have a question, and I was like, because my
Uh.
confusion is this the Ordinance Violations Bureau, that ordinance?
No, this is Code
Okay.
Enforcement Board.
So we have not.
You're the bureau.
I'm it.
Yeah,
The
under
judge, the
statute.
jury. Okay, so I'm it. Now, in looking over this with Brian, my question was, and I'm in hearing all this and how he's gone back and forth, when can we start writing violations for these frequent flyers or the
So,
repeat offenders? 'Cause
Huge discussion, and this
I
is
wanted us
something,
all to be on the same page, so, and maybe this is for after.
unsafe is the preferred method, not that. For any home that has trash, damaged, guttering, anything like that, because those will not result in liens against the property. Period. They will not. All right. That's against an individual, depending upon the situation. Where you get action in 15 years now of doing this is when you lien the property.
Yeah.
So, and that's how we get paid. So,
Okay.
and I mean, that's just bottom line is, the city can't, we're using taxpayer dollars here. We can't go and clean up 5 properties and then, under issuing, one, we don't have the authority under some of those to do the work that would need to be done. So the Code Enforcement Bureau, my key example on that would be someone that's frequently bringing their trash can out, overflowing, leaves 3 bags set next to it, those type situations. That's not unsafe. Okay. That is something that, writing a ticket, typically, and there are other situations on this, but typically the abandoned vehicles, that's there.
Okay.
All right. And so that's going to be someone that's getting cited or whatnot. And
who cites them?
so under statute or under our code, Brian has the authority, as does the city police.
Okay. Is it who writes this violation? Like, should some of these be given a violation, like when they go at
Yeah, and
first?
I drafted and sent sample forms, so I don't know where those have,
Okay.
they
and
went
see,
with the
that's-
ordinance.
Okay, I don't know either, so that's my question is, for them to keep running back and forth, we're paying them to go, we need to start charging these violations,
Ones
would be
that-
my thought.
Ones that are not unsafe, absolutely.
Okay, so you have said that, and that would be how Brian writes the ticket, the
Brian,
violation.
city
Brian, do you have all
police,
that?
animals at large.
I got this right here.
He just, yeah.
This same.
He and I talked about the ordinance, so we'll communicate more on that.
Absolutely.
Because that's where, I think it's time we start charging some of these when you go and you keep going and going. Is that kind of the intent
I
of
agree,
it?
and that's the
Like
intent,
The animals is
because
a good one.
the issue is without that board, without that bureau, then your step would be write the ticket and then city attorney files it in Superior Court in 60 to 90 days we get a court. We have a hearing date. And that's not conducive to the type of enforcement that we want to see or action that we want to take. So by doing the bureau, if we have, and people have the option to say, no, I didn't, my dog wasn't running at large. I want to address this in court. Well, they have that right under the statute to file that notice with you, and we have to then, if we want to pursue it, file it in court. And if they don't, they can enter an admission, come in and pay it, and be done with it. But that's the process, absolutely. And yes, because
Would you care to send that to me
let's
again if
just
you have
plan
it?
on getting, I'll get something on the books with Brian and
Okay,
you, and we'll be on the same page on that, because that does involve your office.
okay, and I'm glad we said, yeah, because, and I apologize for the repeat of the mowing question.
No, but you and I discussed that some as far as, because it is important, there are different statutory schemes. And the city does have enforcement discretion. So, hey, this house all of a sudden has a ton of trash in the front yard. Okay, Brian goes and talks to them. They just moved in. They're gonna get it done. It doesn't happen for a week. Do we go out and cite them instead of moving forward with unsafe because of the nature of the situation? Sure. My preference, though, is anytime that we think it's going to be a long-term issue, that it's going to result in the city using resources, we want to make sure we're using the unsafe code, because that's the only for sure way for us to get paid.
Okay.
Or to get tax dollars reimbursed,
Okay,
which is obviously very important.
okay, well, like he was talking with me about the towing cars and that they've done several. Well, if you've got to go back a month later and then give them another week, charge them, because you've made 3 trips, I would think,
Have
but
they received any money on towing these cars?
nothing.
It's all
No.
the towing company.
Yeah, we don't pay to
We
have them
don't
towed.
pay it. They,
No.
We're not paying.
Yeah,
No,
we've
they,
got the time of him and Dave going out there.
I swing by and, I'll come back 30 days when they're gone.
So who are you getting, or do you do
I
a
call
rotation
in,
or?
yeah, I call in the dispatch, whoever's next in line, just to make it fair, right down the list. We use the same person every time. It's whoever's next in line.
They can impound that car? and charge
Yeah,
whatever
they
want.
take
there's a
it.
statutory process there's a database that they have access to as to find out if there's a lien holder. That's the big thing. If there's a lien holder, they have to give so much notice. There's only so much they can charge for the impoundment of the vehicle. It's a very step-by-step Indiana process. And some cities are large enough that they do that on their own. It would be a huge additional, we would need a lot of additional resources. It does not make sense for us to do it, but these tow companies that have secured lots and have access to that. So in situations, they may end up with the owner of the vehicle. That's obviously the incentive to them. Otherwise, there are caps on what they can receive and et cetera, but they're very familiar with that process. They're insured, bonded, all that good stuff. And yeah, that's the,
Yeah,
the
I normally
process.
I call in dispatch and who sends them next in line.
Right.
And if I told your car, Mayor, you have to go speak with whoever it was and whatever. And we have a thing drafted, or they have, and we passed where that we set the limits on what they can charge and this and that. So
Now, them limits are on what they charge just to tow it or for storage or both?
I think it's towing
It's
and
just there's,
storage.
state statute sets forth
Yeah.
the limit.
So yeah, it's whoever's next in line, and then if I told your vehicle, we don't get paid, you have to go pay
Yeah.
Coomers or Goods or whoever, and whatever that is, and that's usually more than this $250, it's usually more than that. So that's what I'm saying, they're gonna have to pay that bill. So, on that note, 72 have been removed. Now, we've only had to tow like 7 or 8. The other ones decided they would
Well, that's awesome.
move
Yeah, I
on
mean,
their
that's-
own. Which-
Exactly what we want.
That helps up on the cleanups though too, because Blankenbaker Edward down there on Main Street,
What happened there?
I towed one of them the other day, and then they're getting ready to get another one, and then I got 2 more. So, but that's another one I'll send to Josh. That's it's got all the lawnmowers, 2 more.
So is it still the same status of a car's been sitting there for 20 years and got a legal license plate on it, you can't do nothing with it?
That'll be mechanically operable.
Huh?
It's gotta be mechanically operable.
So,
And the way I always tell them is start and drive. If that stops them from, they're down in the dirt and they go, I'll just put a tag on it.
Exactly.
Well, start it up and move it. Oh, well, I don't know. Okay.
Okay.
But yeah, 72 and I think that's 4.5 months. So
Yeah.
I kind of slowed down a little because it's Christmas, it's cold kind of,
Right.
but that's a big dent.
It is.
Good.
It is. It is.
You got anything else?
No, nothing I can think of right now.
Gentlemen.
Answering my question.
I'll follow up on these couple things. I'll get the tire, TV stuff.
And I sent you the information on all around towing.
I got it.
Yeah,
I don't think that's not
That'd
all
be great
around,
if
that's
we
not
could
all
still
around towing though.
collect
That's
some of that.
the next.
well,
piece
but this
beside.
is a. whatever.
It's there's an interested party. Yeah.
We're just trying to collect,
All around, so I'm just trying to.
yeah, and
acquire
clean up
that
and
land.
collect.
Never
Yeah.
mind.
Yeah,
All right, also it's adjourned at 9:56 a.m.
I'm just gonna turn this off then.
You gotta hit,
Red button.